Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. It's me, Asia from Rant channel. Welcome back to my channel. You already know what time it is. The next video or topic that I wanted to talk about is how I feel like in season 4 for Degrassi Next Class. This is a topic about Degrassi Next Class. I feel like in season 4 specifically, and those who watch Degrassi Next Class tap in, but I think in Degrassi season 4, when it came to Frankie and Jonah's breakup and how Frankie took it, or how you would say she reacted, to me, I'm going to say her feelings and how she ever handled it was valid. Point blank, period. Because younger me, like when I first, younger me, yes, younger me. This is like, when the Degrassi Next Class came out, it was like the year of 2016, 2017 when I got into the show. So like I've always said, I watched the Degrassi Next Class with the intention of not really knowing who these characters were, because I was used to Manny and Emma, so I'm thinking like, whoa, where the fuck did these characters come from? Who are they? So I watched, 4 seasons of a show with characters I had no idea, no clue, no nothing, and once I kind of finished the Degrassi Next Class and I started like my freshman year of high school, no, I'm lying, not my freshman year. I want to say during the pandemic when Degrassi became more popular again, it was really like on the streaming device, things like that. When I found out that Degrassi was like on Tubi for free and I could watch all the seasons, all the episodes, no payment, no nothing, I was on that. Because before I was watching them on Tubi, I was watching the seasons on YouTube. Back when Degrassi was coming popular again during the pandemic, when everybody was finding the show. They had all the episodes on YouTube for free, and I was just binge watching whenever I had free time when I wasn't at work, just binge watching. And I'm thinking like, man, Degrassi is really fucking good. Like, this is easily top number 1 teen drama of all time. Hell, maybe at least to me. I think Degrassi, when it came to showing struggles and showing how the youth is struggling when it comes to whatever it is they're struggling with, I feel like the Degrassi writers really did a good job. I don't think they did a good job when it came to everything as far as a storyline or a character, but when it came to the characters and the storylines that they wanted to put all their 100% into, they did a really good fucking job. And, I was just watching Degrassi, and I'm thinking like, like when I was watching Degrassi Next Class, I was thinking like, Frankie's tripping. Like, why is she taking Jonah's guitar and breaking it and crashing out? Like, what's wrong with her? Because younger me, I'm thinking like, why would she take herself to a place where she knew that Jonah and Grace were going to be at? It's like you were kind of asking for yourself to have a type of reaction. But when I rewatched the show, I'm thinking like, no, Frankie didn't know that Jonah and Grace was going to be there, because Anthony invited her to help her get over her breakup, get over the sulkiness and the sadness. When Frankie went there with Hunter, because I think Hunter and Joah was having like their whole little relationship thing with issues and shit, Frankie saw Jonah and Grace kissing or whatnot, and she got up and she went over there to confront him. She told Jonah that he's a piece of crap, and he was like, Frankie, what you doing here? She said, I believed you. He said, what are you talking about? She said, I believed you when you said there was nothing going on between you and Grace. He said, there wasn't. He said, nothing happened between me and Grace until after me and you broke up. And she said that you're a liar. And he said that nothing I ever did was ever good enough for you. She said, so nothing I ever did was good enough for you? She just said, she said, hey, Jonah, nice guitar. She said, I wonder who bought it. That's right, I did. She broke the guitar that she bought with her money into the fucking tree, broke that bitch into tiny itty bitty bitty pieces, and Esme recorded it. Now, younger me, I'm thinking like, Frankie tripping. Like, why is she making a scene? She being mad dramatic. Because younger me, I feel like, because the show, now that I'm older, I feel like the show tries to gaslight you on certain situations where they feel like, oh, this person is tripping for no reason, when it's like, no, they're crashing out over something valid. Frankie's crash out was valid because I'm about to address some shit that I feel like is a double standard that none of y'all ever talk about. Y'all do not hold these characters accountable for anything, and I'm tired of it. And I'm about to start talking about it because, like I said, the more and more I watch the show, I start to see a lot of double standards in this community. I feel like, how come none of y'all ever get on Jonah's ass for basically lying to Frankie's face? Ooh. I think the reason why, and I'm going to even say myself, because I'm not going to be a hypocrite and act like, oh, I mentioned this before, because I've never mentioned this. Even when I reviewed the show over again, this is a storyline I didn't even talk about because Frankie's character was fumbled, and I never really cared for Grace or Jonah's character, so I feel like this whole, they call it a love triangle, but it's like, really, was it a love triangle? It wasn't a love triangle at all. Frankie was trying to get Jonah's attention, and you barely saw Jonah and Grace's relationship to even really give a fuck about it. So to say it's a love triangle is wild. I feel like Degrassi, as the show went on, they wanted to name everything that was a conflict or petty drama a love triangle, and it's like, no, it wasn't. A love triangle is actually three people anticipated in one person. You didn't see that on season 4. Frankie wasn't trying to get Jonah back. They didn't show that. They didn't show her doing anything to try to get Jonah back. She was just doing things to get his attention. So how's that a love triangle? Exactly. Anywho, like I was saying, I think the reason why the community and myself, why we never called out Jonah for really, for Jonah for being an asshole when it came to this whole situation is because he's a character who came to the 14, didn't do anything but music, and then next class, he kind of was just there. Like, Jonah never really said too much. He's kind of annoying. He thinks he's, like, superficial. He got this high morality complex. Like, I just don't like Jonah. He could have went back to being, like, a druggie, a junkie, whatever. Because I feel like, why introduce a straight-edge character in this show if you're not going to do anything with it? Like, Jonah told Grace that the reason why he don't do drugs and the reason why he don't drink anymore, something that he told Grace that he never told Frankie. Oh my God, this is what I'm talking about. Let me just go ahead and finish what he told Grace. Again, Degrassi not doing enough when it came to their characters. Jonah told Grace, I think in a conversation they had in season 3, that the reason why he's straight edge is because back when he was doing drugs and drinking, he had sex with a girl and he got her pregnant. And the girl doesn't let him see the child, but his mom sends money to her for help. And he said that he knew since that moment he needed to stop because he didn't want to mess up anyone else's life. And he said that he messed up that girl's life by giving her a child that she was not ready for, a child that he doesn't even see due to his drug issue. I feel like, first of all, if you weren't going to do anything with that, why even have him say it? Now it's like, I want to see the girl, I want to see the baby, and now I want to see it. But nope, you don't even show it. It's just a waste of time. Why even open up that sucky wound if you're not going to do shit with it? And Grace, I'm going to be honest, I never really cared for Grace. I liked it. Honestly, yeah, I never really cared for Grace. Honestly, there's a lot of times in the show where I don't like Grace. Like, I don't like the way she did what she did to Zoe, like leading her on. I don't like how, as a woman, she wasn't the one who told Frankie that her and Jonah were connecting emotionally and verbally while he was with her. Like, Jonah, of course he's gonna lie because he's a man. That's what men do. They fucking lie. Jonah really sat in Frankie's face and tried to pin the situation on her, talk about, oh, nothing I ever did was good enough for you. That's not why y'all broke up. Y'all broke up because Hunter texted Jonah on Frankie's phone that I love you. She went to the wedding to tell him that Hunter sent that message and he asked her, is it true? She said it is. She said she feels it, but she just never said it because she knows how he is when it comes to commitment. And he said that he think maybe it is time that him and Frankie sit down and actually talk and have a real conversation. So when Frankie was texting him and she was trying to being concerned on why he haven't returned any of her messages, you know, she hacked into his passwords on his account and he saw it and he told Frankie that they need to officially break up because she was invading his privacy and things of that nature, and you know, things of that nature. I could see where Jonah was coming from, but I feel like in a relationship, what privacy do you need from me? I don't understand we're not strangers or friends where I feel like I was overstepping your boundaries by hacking into your account. I feel like for Frankie to actually hack into Jonah's account the first time when Hunter gave her the password just showed she didn't trust him. Even though him and Grace's text messages were nothing sneaky or like nasty or flirtatious, it's the fact that when she asked him what was going on between him and Grace, he straight up and told her nothing was going on, that nothing was going on between him and Grace, that Grace wasn't the reason why, But it's like it turns out Grace was the reason. Grace and Jonah were connecting emotionally a lot in season 3 due to the fact that she was sick and she got the news that if she doesn't get a new lung, she can die within maybe 4 years. And Grace is a character I just don't like because she was a shitty friend to Maya on a lot of occasions. Again, like I said, if Jonah wasn't going to tell Frankie the truth, I feel like Grace should have at least told Frankie the truth. Yeah, y'all not friends, but it's like woman to woman. It's like, how can you carry around knowing that you're really the reason why Jonah and Frankie broke up due to Jonah catching feelings for you, and then try to make sense, oh, Frankie hacked into his passwords, that's why they really broke up. Anything before Frankie hacked into Jonah's passwords, their relationship was already over. Due to the fact that Frankie actually wanted a real committed relationship, like she actually wanted to actually build something with Jonah, and he always was kind of making excuses why he could never prioritize her. And I feel like Frankie was very passive and kind of just took it for what it was. Like, she never spoke up for herself, and I hated that. She was very quiet, too passive for me, and I didn't like it because Jonah, anything Frankie did before she hacked into your passwords, your relationship was kind of over with. Because she wanted to have sex, he didn't want to have sex with her due to his passive having it and then hurting somebody. That hurt Frankie's feelings because she thought it had something to do with Grace, even though he told her no. We all know it might have had something to do with her. She bought Jonah a new guitar to say she was sorry, and he said that he feel like everything he does now hurts her feelings, and he's tired of it. He said he doesn't really know what to do to make her happy anymore or to keep this relationship going. And he said he cares about her, but he doesn't know how to show it. And Frankie was like, good talk. Her and Jonah went on a break because she said she feels like she loses herself in a relationship. Like, she puts so much into her relationship that she kind of loses herself because she tends to like or love the person more than they love her. And I really think that comes from daddy issues on Frankie's part by not having her father there, to where she feels like when she's in a relationship, she might have to do a lot to oppress the person she's with to keep them around. But I feel like anything Frankie did in a relationship with Jonah, I feel like it was valid due to his lack of communication. He would never really communicate to Frankie and tell her what he's actually thinking. If you think Frankie is really immature and childish, why the fuck are you with her? She's such a child. She's such a kid. Why are you with this kid? I don't get that mindset. Why drag a relationship on to this period when you kind of already have it in your mind that you and her are not going to last due to your mindset being here, her mindset being there. I do feel like at times the way Frankie would handle things when it came to her and Jonah was childish, like going through his emails and shit like that. She could have really just told Jonah that she felt like when she reached for his phone and he grabbed it the way he did in the car, it came off sneaky and it seemed like he had something he had to hide. But Frankie, like I said, she was very passive, that she never brought up how that bothered her in the car. Instead, she went and talked to Lola and Shay about it, and they gave her awful advice, and she just asked Hunter straight up, give me that password, period. And she went into she hacked into his FaceRange account and saw that he was texting Grace, and he called her immature. I don't think she ever asked him about the message. She just told Jonah, like, is she doing something wrong? And he told Frankie no. He said he just has a lot on his mind after the bus accident and this play and trying to get into college. Like, he don't want her to feel like he's neglecting her. He just has a lot going on. I feel like, why can't you just communicate that? But it's like, that's not the issue. The issue has nothing to do about prioritize or anything like that. The issue is the fact that when she went and grabbed the phone, he snatched it like he had something to hide. Frankie never asked him about why did you act that way in the car. She was passive. She pussyfoot around Jonah a lot just to keep him around. And I think firsthand that showcased a lot of like, it's giving like abandonment, it's giving daddy issues, like I don't want you to leave my side, so I'm not going to bring anything that bothers me until maybe after we're officially done. I feel like there was so much shit Frankie should have said to this nigga Jonah to his face, and she didn't do it. So in season 4, let's get back. Well, all of this has a lot to do what I'm talking about. I don't want anybody to feel like I'm going off record. No, this has a lot to do with this topic, with the video. I feel like a lot of fans don't hold Jonah accountable for basically emotionally cheating on Frankie with Grace due to us not caring for his character. And I tend to see that a lot with a lot of characters in the show. A lot of characters have done a lot of fuck shit where it doesn't get called out. Like Jane. I think Jane's cheating doesn't get called out due to the fact that maybe people feel like Spinner deserved it. But it's like when you go back and watch season 9, not that I'm saying anybody has a reason to cheat, because it's like you don't really need a reason. If you're wired to be a cheater, then you're wired that way. But to me, people say, oh, Jane cheated because in an argument Spinner said something to her that was out of pocket, so she kind of like was relying on Declan for attention. So again, I'm trying to understand, how is that right? I don't give a fuck what Spinner said to her. They don't give you the reason to cheat. They don't give you no excuse. They don't give you no reason to step the fuck out. You got an issue with the way he said something, correct that nigga right then and there and chin check him immediately. You go out of the relationship and cheat. And then not only that, Jane and Holly J were best friends, and Holly J started messing around with Declan, and she ended up falling in love with him. When they was talking about Declan in the tent, when Spinner overheard Jane cheating on him, it sounded like they were passing the nigga. It felt like they were passing the homie. Like, that is so disgusting. It's like, Holly J, you and Spinner were getting close by you working the dot. If Jane wasn't going to tell him, as your friend, I'm going to tell you because I'm loyal to you. If you're my friend and I know there's some shit going on and I just know it, ain't no way how I'm about to let you just stand there and be dumb and look stupid. Holly J, you can't say you and Spinner were not that close, so y'all were not friends when you literally working the dot with him 24/7, getting to know him to where you even develop a crush on him. How are you and him not friends? How are you and him not that close for you to tell him Jane cheated on you and I knew about it and I never said anything due to her being my friend as well. Her being conflicted between Spinner and Jane due to her being close with both of them. But in a tent, it just sounded like Holly Jane and Jane were like passing the homie for real. And Spinner's crash out when he found out that Jane cheated on him. It was valid because Spinner was nothing but good to Jane. I understand he didn't get into the police academy, so she felt like, what is their future going to be together when he doesn't have any plans? I understand that, but it's like Spinner has his whole life to try to figure his shit out. You feel me? Like, I think Spinner kind of owned the Dot coffee shop, right? If I'm not wrong, because in Degrassi 14, in Degrassi season 14, he was the one who was hiring people. Like, he did have a little cameo in season 14 when he was hiring Eli, and Eli said he had to deal with something. He was like, kids. I thought that was funny because it's like, he's been there with the drama. You feel me? But again, y'all don't hold Jane accountable for her cheating due to y'all feeling like, oh, Spinner deserved it, or Spinner was a horrible character, therefore he earned that karma. I don't know what it was, but I just felt like when I watched season 9, Jane cheating felt random as hell. It just felt stupid, and it just came out of nowhere. It wasn't even a consistent storyline with her and Declan to where it was like, okay, feelings are growing, the attraction is there. It was just something that just happened. Like, literally in the episode, she just fucked Declan, and that was it. But y'all never hold her accountable for that. Same thing with Holly J. I love Holly J and Stav's relationship, or just a relationship, or friends with a sense, whatever you want to call it, fling, whatever they want to call it. I feel like Holly J and Stav should have been in game. But I'm going to have to call Holly J out on something real quick because I didn't really care too much about the Holly J and Stav storyline too much when I first watched season 10. But when I kind of went back and watched it, Holly J and Sav were cute as fuck. Like, they had really good chemistry. And I don't know, they just seem to fit each other more than Holly J and Declan. Like, I didn't have an issue with Holly J and Declan. I just feel like in season 10, their relationship kind of just was hitting a strain due to Holly J being broke and not having too much money. And, you know, Declan was being a gentleman, you know, with the mindset, I'm going to take care of my woman no matter what. She needs something, I got it. But Holly J felt like a charity case to Declan. Like, I don't want you to pay for my college tuition. I don't know. I don't want that to happen, because maybe Holly J felt like he would constantly hold that over her head if the relationship continued. I do feel like Holly J and Declan had chemistry. I wouldn't have been against if they were in game, but I felt like anything, once they broke up, I feel like their relationship was kind of over with. So I feel like Declan coming back and trying to get Holly J back, I thought it was a waste of time, honestly, because to him, he probably felt like it didn't feel like a breakup. It just felt like maybe she needed her own space, and they never spoke after their breakup. But I don't blame Declan for coming back with the intention of wanting Holly J back because he loved her. You feel me? I don't blame him for that, because Holly J and Declan were cute. I just didn't like the whole, he raped me, I didn't want it, I didn't act. No. I will say this because I had a conversation with my sister, and even when I rewatched the episodes about the whole situation, I made a video discussing how I don't think Declan essayed Holly J. I think what happened that night was something that they both wanted, but I feel like the way Declan came off was a tad bit creepy. Like, Holly J, not creepy, like, when he was kissing Holly J looked uncomfortable, but she consented by kissing him back. She never pushed him off or was like, stop. She kissed him back when he kissed her. They had sex. It was consent. I don't like how she said, oh, he raped me, but then when he checked her about it, she was like, I don't think you raped me, Declan. I just feel guilty that we slept together and I'm with Sav. Okay, then then say that then. Don't be around here saying I took advantage of you or none of that shit, when honestly you just feel guilty that you and Sav are doing your thing and you fucked me and now you feel bad about it. Just keep it be. So I feel like once Holly J kind of was like, oh, he raped me, I feel like anything for their relationship was kind of over with, wrapped up. They could never go back to how they were if she could look at this. If she said he raped her, they could never. I do feel like Holly J and Sav fit each other way more. And I'm sorry that I'm going on this little side rant, but this is important to the topic, and we're going to get right back to Frankie and Jonah. But nobody ever calls Holly J out for really dragging her and Sav's fling to the point where she tried to self-sabotage. Or, no, not self-sabotage. She tried to ambush Sav in front of his parents by telling them, oh, I'm Sav's girlfriend, when she knows that Sav is not allowed to date. She thought when Sav's parents saw that he was in a relationship, that means he would have to break up with her. But when she found out that they actually liked her and they wanted Sav to continue the relationship, that's not what she thought they were going to do. And she told Sav that, I did what I did because I wanted your parents to tell you to break up with me. And he said, why? Do you want to break up? She said she just feel like things between them have gone stale, and they always talked about an expiration date when it came to their fling, and maybe it's time that they have a conversation about the expiration date. My thing is that Holly J kind of already knew Sav was like catching real feelings for her, so I feel like the second he was saying things like he could see a future with her and that he don't think it's just a fling anymore for him, she should have ended with him as soon as he said those things, because if you know that ain't what this is for you after you was in a relationship and you don't want to get back into another one, why would you be with somebody who you know loves hard, actually wants to be with you after they got to like be with you and things like that? Why would you continue with, if you kind of already knew that's not where my mindset at? You feel me? And then she had the nerve to write a list on things they got in common, talk about pros and cons. I don't know. I feel like there's just a lot of things in the show that's a double standard. Y'all don't call the females out for any of their fuck shit, and I hate it. Like, I don't like it. Y'all don't call Ellie out for how horrible she was. to Dave in their relationship. It was always Dave is this, Dave is that. Y'all don't call Claire out for how she was emotionally cheating on Eli with Drew before they ever had sex. Y'all don't call her out for that. Y'all don't call Maya out for really being the reason, the main reason why Zig and Miles was kind of beefing, due to her kind of playing both sides. Like, she would be mad at Miles and then be all up in Zig's face, and then when she's mad at Zig, she'll be all up in Miles' face. Like, y'all don't call her out for that. I do, but y'all do not call her out for that. Who's another one? It's somebody else. It's another one too. It's another Katie, her little ass. Y'all do not call Katie out, and I literally made a whole video about this. Y'all do not call Katie out on how wrong she was for using Dallas to make Jake jealous until Jake said that he had feelings for her and that he wanted her. She had the nerve to accept tickets to Dallas's hockey game and then to sit in the fucking bleachers on Kiss Cam and kiss Jake when she came there with the intention to watch Dallas's hockey game, and then had the nerve to lie to him the next day and said he had a great game. She watched it to the end. Bitch, how? When you were lip locking with that white boy. Y'all don't call Katie out for that because it was like, oh, at the end of the day, she got who she really wanted. She was scared of a relationship after what Drew did to her. Man, I don't give a fuck about none of that. She used Dallas when he genuinely liked her. And then y'all sit here and say, oh, Dallas is an asshole. He's a jerk. Why would he destroy the garden? Jake and Katie never did nothing to him. Are you kidding me? As far as I'm concerned, what he did was valid, bitch. How dare you use me when I actually liked you and then got the nerve to come in my face and tell me, you nothing but a hockey puck. You a punk. Bitch, get out of my face. You nothing but a fake ass bitch. Because I genuinely liked you, Katie, and you used me just to get that nigga's attention. And you got the nerve to stand in my face and act like you don't owe me no ounce of an explanation. Like, she called that a sorry when she told Dallas, like, she actually liked it, Jake, and she was scared that he didn't like her back, so she kind of just went out with Dallas instead. When he said, so you were using me, she said, no. She said, I was just, being cautious. So you were using me. You already, if you're walking into the classroom the next day saying, hey, sorry if you saw the kiss between me and Jake, I kind of always had feelings for him, and I was scared he didn't have feelings for me, so I was just, hanging out with you instead. So you were using me. You can't sit in my face and say, hey, I kind of always knew I got feelings for this person, but I went out with you instead. And say, oh, I was just being cautious. Are you kidding me? Y'all don't not call y'all female characters out on nothing. It's okay for female characters to be confused and all of that, but if a nigga went around and did the same thing they did, oh, they the devil, they the Antichrist, da-da-da-da-da-da, y'all ready to throw them niggas on the internet, sun up and sun down, but y'all don't do the same thing with y'all female characters, and it shows. Anyways, point blank, regardless, I feel like Frankie's crash out in the woods when she broke Jonah's guitar was valid. Jonah was a piece of shit the entire time him and Frankie dated. All he ever did was criticize, judge her, treated her like a child. And there are one of the relationships in the show that I cannot stand. I hate them. They have no chemistry. Their relationship was dragged out to the point where it's like there was no substance, there was no sauce. I was just over it. So, with that being said, I don't really have too much else to say. I think Frankie's feelings were valid because Jonah treated her awful in their relationship. He had the nerve to emotionally cheat on her with Grace and then stare in her face and say, nothing I ever did was good enough for you. Are you kidding me? Jonah, she asked you once but twice if there was anything going on between you and Grace, and you told her no. Then, during the summer, you come back to school and the bitch that you're fooling around with, it's the bitch that I said I felt like you had something, that there was something going on between you two. Are you kidding me? I felt so bad for Frankie when she saw Jonah and Grace kiss at the school fair. I felt bad for her because she must have genuinely thought her and Jonah were going to figure it out and get back together. But I think what hurt worse was that seeing him lick lock with a bitch that you kind of already knew that he was falling for when he was with you. I felt bad for Frankie because she didn't deserve that. Jonah is a liar. He is a gaslighter. He is a manipulator. I don't fuck with him. Frankie deserves better. And with that being said, I'm out this bitch. Peace.